live from Miss Keenan's house. This is Revise and Edit. Happy Monday or Tuesday, my beautiful fourth graders. Whatever day you're watching this on, I hope that you are making good choices and you're having a good day, and that somebody today has given you a hug and said how happy that they are that you are here at school. We're going to get started with our very important topic for the day, which is subject-verb agreement. So I need you to make sure you have your pencil, make sure you have your writer's notebook, you've got your headphones in, your Chromebook's getting charged, and we are ready to go. Turn to the section in your notebook called Grammar. Turn to a blank page, just like we always do. And I have already taken a little bit of time to fill out today's date as well as the heading, which you have to have. So today's date, 9/9/19. Can y'all see that? Okay. Yours heading is going to be subject-verb agreement. That has to be at the top so that you can come back to it whenever you need help. All right, the next thing you need to do is you need to tell me what a subject is. I am not going to fill that out for you. There is a anchor chart behind you that has exactly the information that you need. So make sure that you turn back and you look at it. And I'm going to give you a couple seconds to fill that out using that anchor chart. Okay. I'm going to move on because we've got a lot to cover in this video before we get our day going. So in that blank, you should have written who or what. Remember, we point because subject is represented by an arrow. Who or what the sentence is about. Okay, that's what your subject is. Next, you're going to fill out what a verb is. Our verb is represented by a little raindrop. Remember, a verb is anything you can do with your body. Write, draw, color, sing, jump, run, sleep, fart, whatever it is. If you can do it with your body, it is an action word, then it is absolutely a verb. So here you're going to write action word. Remember, this is represented by a raindrop because rain falls. It is something that rain does. So therefore, raining is also a verb. Okay? All right. We went over what a singular noun and a plural noun were in the last video that we watched for revising and editing, and we've got those notes right here. Okay, I need you to remember that the subject and the noun are like this. You can't separate the two. The subject is the noun is the subject. So that is your next note here. Next point. Subject is the noun. So when I'm talking about the noun here in a little bit, you're going to say, what? Are we talking about the subject? Are we talking about the noun? They're like this. You cannot split them apart. The subject is the noun is the subject. Okay? All right. Next, your next vocabulary word should be singular noun. When you have a singular noun, your symbol for the singular noun is going to be x1, meaning times 1. So in multiplication, when you've been working on that with Miss Misra, if you do 1 times 1, what is the answer to that? 1, right? Or 2 times 1, the answer to that is 2, meaning the number stays the same. Here, singular noun just means 1. You're not changing anything about it. It just stays the same. So singular noun is only one noun. Your next word is a plural noun, and your symbol for that is going to be times 2. 2 or more in this situation. If you have a plural noun, that means more than 1. So the definition is more than 1 noun. All right. Now that you have all that information, we are going to get started on talking about subject-verb agreement. I know I said it before, but I'm going to say it again. let me back up a little bit so y'all can see. The subject and the noun are together. They cannot be split apart because the subject is the noun and the noun is the subject. Okay? So when I start talking about nouns here, remember that the noun is the subject and the subject is the noun. You got it? Good. All right. Draw a line to show that we are getting started with our rules. When we're talking about subject-verb agreement, we are talking about that the subject or the noun in this situation has to agree with the verb, meaning they have to make sense in the sentence together. We're going to be doing a little bit of practice with this, so that will make sense in a second. Before we get there, though, we need to write down 2 rules. That's all you have to remember for subject-verb agreement. It's just 2 rules. 1, if the subject is singular, meaning 1, so put times 1 over that so that you can remember singular means 1. How many? 1. That's right. If the subject is singular, the verb must, put a box over that, must be plural. Okay? If you are at the safe space during this station, I need you to go ahead and stand up, press pause on the video, go get a highlighter and come back. I'll wait. Oh, you're back. Okay, good. You got a highlighter? Sweet. Put the cap on that thing. If the subject is singular, the verb must be plural. So here's where you're going to highlight subject. If the subject is singular, the verb must be plural. And I just realized I forgot to put my symbol over that. So put the cap on my highlighter, and I'm going to put times 2. Over top of subject, you're going to put our symbol, which is the arrow. Okay. Over top verb, you're going to put our symbol for that, which is the raindrop. And we're going to read this together. Put your finger on if, and let's read. If the subject is singular, the verb must be plural. I know what you're thinking. All these words are gobbledygook to me. I don't know what any of them mean. Please help. We're going to get there. We just got to get these rules down. Okay? 2. If the subject is plural, put your symbols. The verb must be singular. Times 1. Okay? Make sure that all your words have their symbols so that you know what they are when you come back to them. Put your pencil down. Get out your highlighter. Highlight subject is plural. The verb must be singular. Got it? Good. All right, let's read the second rule. If the subject is plural, the verb must be singular. So the rules are interchangeable. If you notice that the subject is singular, the verb's got to be plural. If you notice the subject is plural, the verb's got to be single. Okay? We're going to get there. Let's do some practice. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. If you have space on this page, cool. If you don't, go ahead and turn the page. I don't because I write big. so you little people can see. And now we are time for practice, okay? You are going to write a sentence, and we are going to diagram that sentence, and then we are going to choose the correct verb that goes with it, okay? So you need to start by doing number 1. And your first sentence is, it's not even a sentence, it's just practicing with the subject and the verb. Dogs. We're not going to go any farther than that, okay? Dogs is the subject, correct? Dogs is who we're talking about. Is dogs singular or plural? Is there one dog or is there 2 dogs? Turn back to your notes. Singular, only one noun. Plural, ooh, I can't see that. Plural, 2 or more nouns. More than one noun, okay? So, let's go back here. Dogs. I noticed that there is an S, so that means this noun is, or the subject is plural. So I'm going to put a ×2 over it, okay? Whatever verb comes next, if the subject is plural, according to our rule, if the subject is plural, the verb must be singular, meaning only one, meaning no S, nothing at the end to say that there's more than one. If the subject is plural, the verb must be singular. So my verb here is going to be eat. Dogs eat. Verb symbol. Okay. Dogs eat. My subject was plural, so my verb is singular. There's no S at the end. Only one. Dogs eat. Got it? Good. All right, next one. Okay. Your subject is going to be mom. Ooh, that said moo. It's supposed to be an M, just so you know. M-O-M. Mom. Is mom singular or is mom plural? Mom singular or is mom plural? Is there an S at the end? If there is not an S at the end or any variation of the plural rules, that subject is singular. So I noticed that there's no S at the end here, meaning that is singular. Put your ×1 over it to show your symbol. If the subject is singular, the verb must be plural. Subject is singular, the verb must be plural, okay? So both of these should have 2 symbols over them, and I just realized that. So you've got ×2 arrow, ×1 arrow, okay? Because you're talking about, is the subject a plural or a singular noun, and you have to identify that it is the subject of the sentence, okay? So mom, singular, therefore the verb has to be plural. Mom is going to be cooking, so mom cooks. My subject here is singular, therefore my verb is plural. Notice that? I want you to also put a ×1 here, and you're going to put a ×2 over here. If your subject is singular, the verb has to be plural. If your subject is plural, the verb has to be singular. Woo! Okay, we're going to try it in a full sentence now. Are you ready? Is your brain about to explode? Mine too. Let's go. Okay. 3. Give yourself a little bit of space in between each sentence so that, so that you can diagram them easily as you go and you're not running out of space. All right? Let's write this full sentence. Your sentence starts with a capital. Please make sure it starts with a capital. Before aliens eat / eats. We're going to come back to that in a second. Green goo. Step 1 of this process is we have to decide what is the subject of this sentence. Remember, the subject is who or what the sentence is about. The 4 aliens eats green goo. The subject of this is the aliens. So you need to put your arrow there. And then circle the S at the end. If there is an S at the end, that means the subject is plural. So you're going to put it ×2. Okay? According to our rule up here, if the ×2 is going with the subject, then that means our noun has to be singular. So, if I'm coming over here, the 4 aliens eat or eats green goo. It can't be eats because there's an S at the end, meaning that that verb is plural. So I'm going to cross that out. The 4 aliens eat green goo. I would circle eat, and I would move on. The 4 aliens eat green goo. All right, we ready for the next one? Oh, we forgot to diagram that. Whoops. Remember to put your raindrop, put ×1. All right. Next, give yourself a little bit of space so that you can diagram. My dinosaur jump or jumps on the trampoline. Okay, period. Step 1, identify the subject of the sentence. My dinosaur jump or jumps on the trampoline. Who or what is the sentence about? The dinosaur, you're right. Okay. In order to identify the subject, we have to draw our arrow. Now we have to decide, is our subject singular or is it plural? Does dinosaur have an S at the end? No, it doesn't. So therefore that subject is singular. According to our rule up here, if the subject is single, the verb has to be plural. So let's come over here to our verb. Jump or jumps. You can tell if a verb, a noun, whatever it is that you're dealing with is plural is if it has an S, an ES, and IES at the end. Jump or jumps. This jump is just our singular because it does not have an S at the end, so we're crossing that out. And jumps is plural because it has the S that we need. So circle jumps, identify that that is the verb, write ×2. My dinosaur jumps on the trampoline. Remember, if the subject is singular, the verb is plural. If the subject is plural, the verb is singular. Okay? We're going to do 2 more sentences of practice, and I'm going to let you do them on your own using your rules. Then, at the end of this, if we have time, I will let you go into an activity of, on the next slide, of a worksheet of this. Capiche? Capiche. Okay. 5. The sister plays guitar. Identify what is the subject. What or who is the sentence about? Okay, after you identify the subject by putting your arrow, you're then going to identify, is this subject singular or is it plural? Did you write a times 1 or did you write a times 2? Once you identify if the subject is singular or if the subject is plural, you are then going to decide, do you need a singular verb or a plural verb? Play is singular because it doesn't have an S. Plays is plural because it has an S, okay? If your subject is singular, your verb has to be plural. Decide which one you need. Diagram it. Put a times 1 or a times 2. Good to go. Okay, this is what your sentence should have looked like. The sister in this sentence is your subject, so I should see an arrow, and then I should see times 1 because there's not an S showing that the subject is plural. It is a singular noun, okay? If my subject is singular, my verb has to be plural. Play is not plural because it does not have an S like it does over here. So I circle plays, I draw my raindrop, I write times 2. Easy as pie, right? Right. Okay, last one. You are diagramming this one on your own. What or who is the sentence about? What or who is the sentence about? Okay, once you've identified the subject by drawing an arrow, identify if that subject is singular or plural. Once you've decided if your subject is singular or plural, go back to your rule. If you need to flip back here instead of just looking up here, you can. Okay. If the subject is singular, the verb must be plural. If the subject is plural, the verb must be singular. Okay, once you identify if it's singular or plural, decide which verb, pop or pops. The corn pop or pops in the oven. The corns pop or pops in the oven. Your sentence should look like this. Corns is your subject here, so I should see an